Yes, greetings to you all and the best of salutations. Just this where I am at this present time in my understanding of self and as well as life and purpose. I would also like to start off by saying the philosophical and ideological vision when it comes to common humanity mission. As we go through or participate in conciliatory healing, it takes one through benevolently through, I should say, the maturation process as it pertains to, life. And I always say life is a living memorial for everyone, you see. So this maturation process consists of 5 components. And these are the 5 components in which or channels in which I choose to or afford me to communicate through. And 1 is understanding. 2 is tolerance/temperament. Tolerance, I should say, the second one. And the third one is temperament/temperament. 4th is confidence. And finally, the 5th one is respect. All of them have a mathematical result. The understanding, the result of that is to restore social credibility, and the tolerance is to readdress social diversity, and temperance/temperament is to revive social coherency, and 4th, the confidence is to replenish the social continuity. And 5th, the respect is to reclaim social solidarity. Yes, and the total outcome of that is that we become practitioners of social maturity. Yes, and in becoming practitioners of social maturity, as one continues to do his or her best to walk in the light of social progress, and when you walk in the light of social progress, you become a contributor to social harmony. Yes, a contributor to social harmony. And when you become a contributor to social harmony, you become at peace. You make peace with your conscience. Yes, and conscience is really, for me, is associated with your soul. You make peace with it. Yes. Peace with your soul, and the aim is accountability. Yes, and we have an unlimited supply of understanding in this regard, because when you have understanding, when you have balance, I should say, and that's the key to it. Understanding speaks clearly. So, in doing so, we're holding up the flag of enduring tolerance, of influential inner growth and outward development, evolving to an adjusted realignment state of mind, of temperament, self-control in dealing with the attitude, and therefore we confide in the refuge of confidence, with an appealing regards to respect based on the principles of self-acceptance. Yes. So in going about doing this, we become social life skills. There are social life skills, strategists, conciliatory healers, benevolent teachers, facilitators of mature social discourse, promoters of self-worth, and operators, social health engineers, dialectical communicators, lectures, poets, authors, advocates of self-resiliency as well as self-advocacy that labors in the field of life transitional endeavors. Trying to make an impact wherever you go. That's another key word: impact, physics, balance, and physics. And the mission is to once again to promote the value of self-worth and to reconnect the disconnected, calm into a benevolent community. Yes, and the mission, the mandate, the motto, and the motivation. Yes, motivation of common humanity mission. Even when it comes to, once again, life, purpose, our experience here on this plane of existence. And I realized that as I said, that the mission is to promote the philosophical and ideological vision of common humanity. Of course, mission is to promote the value of self-worth. Yes. When it comes to, associated with balance. Yes. And the mandate is to cultivate the light of knowledge that is in us all. And the motto is communicate with precision a clearer image to understand. Clear image. Yes, the motto is to communicate a clearer image to the world. Yes. There are many teachings that I have came across, and one that sticks out, I should say, at this point of expression, and where I am at this particular time, and my understanding is balance, of and I mean balance, because when you have balance, understanding speaks clearly, and that was taught by I think some applied to Ma'at in ancient Egypt, or Kemet, as some will call it. And he was talking about, know thyself, know thyself, and at certain periods and stages in our lives, there are certain phases that we go through. When we think we know something and we don't know nothing, and when what we do know, we realize that there is much more to be learned, and then that makes us evil to become, create an environment where we become very ignorant and hostile, and even frustrated. But some phases of our life, there's a person whom we have to disregard. There's a person that is very dangerous, and there's a person that is very simple. There's a person that is very foolish, and there's a wise person. Yes, all these things make us up as individuals. Yes, in phases in our lives. For me, that's the basis and importance of integration. Not only the scientific fact of sperm mixed with ovum. I'm not dealing with anything that is political. Yes. So, what is this discussion? As I said, is all about. When it comes to life, experiencing. Where I am at this point of my understanding. I was thinking about trying to establish a common humanity through working through me and through others, based upon the plight and the pulse of the common humanity that is in us all. Yes. Some type of workshop that deals with conflict resolution and esteem building, And I say that it equates to character resolve. And the reason why I realize that it equates to character resolve, because of the material that one used to build on his or her humanity is character, because character is the outgrowth of one's humanity. Yes. And anything that is being addressed is the aspirations. Yes. Is the aspirations of the ambition of the people. Yes. So this, where I am right now, let's deal with this here. As I was trying to formulate a plan for this workshop, yes. I was thinking in this wise about the motivation. The motivation, yes, the motivation. So, and someone says that, and I think intentions is judged by your actions. You know, what is the motivation behind it all? And I like to think of it in a sense of the soul. You know, what is became a living soul? What is motivated for humans to exist, to be on this plane of existence? Yes. And for me, it seems to be a sense of finding one's centering. Yes, centering. Yeah, grounding. Because the earth is a place of stability. I mean, we're here to be grounded here on earth. It's a temporary thing. Yes, it is. And what I find out, I think, and Chinka Diop said this, that about you throw off the ecology of the environment, and one's intellectual aptitude for learning becomes difficult. So it's about being grounding, and some would call it being humble, and that you have negative and positive. It's the balance again, the balance of being grounded, being centered, and you find your sense of it's a sense of gravity. So being here on this plane of existence and being properly motivated, it is being being grounded. Yes, some will use the expression grounded in the field of possibilities. Yes. And in being grounded, we are constantly, pitching in to help people to become grounded, become centered in a body. Huh? Think about it. That which has life in it is a body of the soul that is in the body. It found a centering, a grounding, and you look at a grounding in a sense of agriculture that needs to be cultivated, and some would say that many have a natural inclination to worship. It should be the worship, to me, realize the worshiping of the grounding, of being grounded here, as it pertains to the not only to the soul, what is also being grounded in our thinking, in our attitude, and in our behavior, as we interact one with another in a civil and a humane way. Being grounded, one is trying to find his or her place of belonging or centering. Yes, I believe a brother who shared this with me, very quiet brother who owns a bookstore of everyone's place. We had an exchange at trying to find one centering, one grounding. Yes, And that's when people try to find their place of belonging. Is they try and remember, because I said promoting the value of self-worth. People want to feel valued. And that's why I said you got to deal with the principle of self-acceptance. And even Dr. King talked about that in the 3 dimensions of a complete life. One of the things, the principle of self-acceptance. So accept the fact that, yes, the soul, the life of the soul that is in us as human beings is found a body, a place of grounding or centering. But somehow or another, due to maybe the misuse of this place of existence, somehow or another, there seemed to be an uneven keel, and therefore one becomes not centered, off-keeled. Becomes, chemically unbalanced, because the brain is like a chemical. It's a drug. And it's trying to find its natural thing of the brain, is trying to find its centering or its balance. Even if you look at the people who may participate in what they call illicit drugs, they're trying to find ground, but it is an unnatural way of trying to find balance. Yes, it is. So, and I experienced something recently, what they call vertigo. In anything in your body is, there was a deficiency somehow or another in your body. I was off balance. I couldn't find my balance. And that's a lesson within itself. Yes. So, one thing going one way and the other going the other way, and they're conflicting with one another. They're going in, like they're pulling against each other. If I may use that, I may be saying it wrong, but it threw me off balance. Even when if you learn from anyone that established or builds something, it must be built on a foundation. That foundation, I say, has to be balanced. It has to stand up. You look at a bottle of water, the foundation of it, so that it will stand up. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And when you talk about standing up, you talk about something that is vertical. So when you talk about any language that must be done, it must be grounded to the fact that it makes you stand erect. Huh? Yes. Erect. Vertical. Yes. It is the language of encouragement, the language of vertical. And that language is to be spread horizontally. Yes. So it is that balance. It is that stability. It is one of the main attributes of the soul. Yes. When it finds its place in a body, because we know that the physical body will decay, but the soul, it transforms, it lives forever. Yes. That soul is a mean thing, man. That soul, you think it is housed in a body for grounding reasons. So humans that are here on this plane of existence, they find grounding, stability. So yes, it is the key is the balance, to be grounded. Yes, and centering, and remember, we have this gravitational pull, and we realize that sometimes we may be pulled in the wrong way, in the wrong direction, due to in an unnatural way, I should say. Yes, and in doing so, not understanding, if I may say, this purpose here of this plane of existence is that we become grounded. And when you are off-centered, it throws off the environment for learning the importance of being balanced. And then therefore it goes about aggressively and obsessively trying to compensate for that. And that leads to to participate in acts of aggression and obsession, and in this modern days of time, people associate that with violence, because violence for me is the result of an unresolved status. You don't know who you are, you're more prone and more susceptible to participate in acts of violence. Because nature always balances itself out. It's nature. It's just this gravitational pull for centering. Yes. To be centered, to be grounded, to be balanced. Yes. In our feelings, in our thought, in our attitude, and in our communication, and in our activity. Yes. May we satisfy the soul. So in closing, the soul is exempt. Yes, it is. It is exempt. Yeah, it will live on. It will live on. It just transforms. Yes. Yes. So I realize there are 4 periods in life. Plant, you grow, you harvest, and you store. Yes. It says one is born, one lives, one dies, and one resurrects. So if the soul is proportional, that means that our relationships are proportional, variegated. Yes, variegated. Yes, and some will associate that with a garden. Yes. So if anything that is being addressed as it pertains to tolerance is the second component in which I communicate from, or channel of tolerance, is the aspirations of people, ambitions, and as it says, I'm readdressing social diversity. But I also come to realize, but is used as a dispute word, that oneness is stronger than diversity, and unity is stronger than conflict. So this esteem building, conflict resolution equals character resolve workshop. That's the issue. It is dealing with the center, finding your center of gravity. Its aim is accountability as we walk in the light of social progress, being a contributor to social harmony. And as I always say, may we be granted success for our labor and joy for our sorrows. Until next time, talk to you.